Hello. I'm going to talk about stress today, and I'm going to say something that is probably quite surprising to you, or it's probably a thought that you've never really entertained before, that stress is a choice. Now you'll probably think, no it's not, Kerry, I'm stuck in a traffic jam, I'm going to get stressed, or I've got a very pressurised job, I've got loads of deadlines, I come home and I've got to cook tea for the kids, I've got X, Y and Z to do, I've got to sort my bills out. Are you telling me that stress is a choice? Of course I'm going to get stressed out, I've got all these things on my shoulders. Now, the reason why stress is a choice is you can put two people into those exact same situations. So going through a day, having loads of deadlines, feeling very, very pressured, coming back, maybe the kids have made a mess, maybe you've got 101 things to sort out, loads of posts and lots of washing to do, that kind of thing. You can put two people into that same situation, and one person might feel really stressed out, really anxious. They feel like the world's on their shoulders. They feel like they've got loads of deadlines, they've got to work through their lunch. In fact, they decide to stay late because they've got so much on their shoulders. They come back, they're getting more and more stressed, and the constant thought and perception is either I haven't got enough time, or this is too much, or I've got to do a good job, or I can't handle this, or I need a break. All of these thoughts are generating that stress and anxiety in that person. Now you can put another person into that situation and they might be able to deal with it in a calm, almost centered way. Now, why would that be? It's because they've mentally stepped back from the situation and decided to put their well-being first. Yes, got loads and loads of deadlines, they understand how important the work is, but maybe during the day they'll take in half an hour and they'll just go outside, have a walk, have a deep breath, look around, appreciate the environment and calm themselves down. Because you can feel, obviously, that you're going to generate stress from having all these different outside pressures, external stimuli, all coming in, putting demands on you. But stress is a choice. I mean, I've got control over my day, to the most part. Obviously, even if you're at work, you can still take 5 minutes out and go and have a walk somewhere. And that other person may go home and kids might have made a mess and they've got lots of washing to do. But they might first, before they do all of that, take 5 minutes, have a cup of tea and play a nice song. Something that's going to uplift them while they do the washing and get the kids to tidy up or something like that. Now, the difference between those two people is that their way of choosing responses to situations is very different. The first person just kind of reacts to life. It's like all these external circumstances have a direct effect on them. In fact, it shapes them and it moulds them, and it's like, well, I'm stressed because of this. The other person says, hang on a minute here, none of this should really dictate how I feel. If I'm going to look after myself and I'm going to look after my well-being, I'm going to decide that nothing is more important than my own health, because I've got children to look after perhaps, or I've got to do a good job at work, and all the evidence suggests that if I'm as good as I can possibly be and I'm calm and happy and healthy, then I can do the best job. I can be the best parent. I can think more clearly. In fact, I can be more creative. So it's about taking a step back and then actively choosing responses to situations. So when these external circumstances feel like they've got a direct effect on you and they're pressurising you and stressing you out, it's then time to make a decision, to make a commitment to yourself and say, actually, I'm going to choose how I respond to life. I'm going to choose my responses because I'm in work for the next 40 years perhaps, or I've got these children for the next 20 years, or I'm always going to have bills, or You know, friends are always going to let me down. There's always going to be circumstances that arise that I've not got control over and that I'm not always going to feel happy about. But at the end of the day, it then becomes a choice. How you choose to respond to situations. And it's a lifestyle choice. It's a mindset choice. It's a mindset choice. And believe it or not, it's not something that's easy and that instantly comes naturally to you. It's a habit. It's something that you've got to practice. I mean, by all means, I'm not a happy, serene person all the time. I do still get stressed out. I do still get wound up. People still do press my buttons. But it's really about, in each and every moment, when you feel something, either an external person or event or situation, starting to generate that negative emotion in you, start to generate that anxiety, you stop for a minute and think, is there a different way I can choose? Is there a different way I can respond? I'm not going to choose stress in this moment. I'm not going to choose stress or fear or anxiety or anger, because that does no one any favours, doesn't do me any favours, certainly not. And it, for the most part, doesn't do the other person any favours. So I'm going to actually choose peace, or choose happiness, or choose to be calm in this moment. Even as hard as it might be, I'm going to practice. And the more I practice, the more I'll become that type of person. So remember, stress is a choice. You are in control.